A trade war is in nobody's interests, and the country deserves, and we will take, a calm, pragmatic approach. That's why constructive talks are progressing to agree a wider economic prosperity deal with the US. That's why we're working with all industries and sectors likely to be impacted. Our decisions will always be guided by our national interest, and that's why we have prepared for all eventualities, and we will rule nothing out.
What this is going to do is going to hurt American families. And the folks you had on just previous is 100% bang on. The lumber that homes are built, majority of it is coming from Canada. It's going to increase the cost of a house, the autos as well. We ship as many autos as we buy, but the cost of a pickup truck or an automobile is going to go up. And then the pharmaceuticals, too, that he's going to go after are going to hurt seniors on fixed incomes that get a lower cost on pharmaceuticals here in Canada. So these tariffs is nothing but a tax on Americans, and President Trump calls it Liberation Day. I call it Termination Day, because a lot of people are going to be terminated from their jobs.
Listen, the president's been very clear. Today is the day he's going to come out with his package on tariff policy. What markets and what business leaders want more than anything else is just to know what it is. So in the markets, what you're really seeing is uncertainty around the fact that they don't know how the president is going to change tariff policy. Let's go back to his first administration. There was the same type of talk about tariffs. The Biden administration didn't change virtually anything associated with the tariff policy of Donald Trump. And the reason why is because what the president is making sure is that we have manufacturing in our country, that we actually have domestic supplies in our country, that people actually have high-paying jobs here in America associated with those industries, as opposed to just onshoring everything from Asia, which, if you go back to COVID-19, was not in the best interest of the United States. And then after that point, we have to move to a sound footing in our economy based upon real incentive structures and real private sector growth. We cannot continue the Obama-Biden ways of just subsidizing industries and increasing federal spending, which destroys purchasing power for the American people and is not sustainable. The way you do that is bring industries back to the United States and allow the American people to be a part of the economic engine, as opposed to just getting cheap goods but not having the necessary jobs in return in order to sustain themselves and to have a sustainable, growing American economy. That's what we're going to accomplish. Now, the markets might be a little skittish in the interim, but over the long term, we will stabilize out and we'll have a better foundation for our economy into the future.
They are a tax on families. They don't like taxes? This is one of the worst taxes they could put in. And don't just listen to us. Rand Paul, hardly a Democrat. Tariffs are simply a tax. Senator Mullen, tariffs is a tax. He didn't have the right grammar, but I'll read him verbatim. Tariffs is a tax, and it will be passed on to consumers. According to the New York Times, 6.5 million jobs would be impacted by the Canadian tariffs, and people in red states will be especially impacted, from farmers to small businesses. And here's another problem. It's chaotic. He says one thing one day and another thing the next day. He changes which countries, he changes the percentage, he changes which goods. And what do businesses hate? Uncertainty. Whether you're a small business, a medium-sized business, a large business, you want certainty. There's no certainty. That's why the stock market has gone down so much. Consumers, why is their confidence at lower levels than it's been in a very long time? In part, in good part, because of these tariffs. They say, if I'm going to have to pay more for eggs or for bread or for gas or for a car, I better not spend now. So it's creating huge problems in the whole economy. So soon, the Senate will vote on a resolution from Senator Kaine to undo Trump's tariffs on Canadian goods, and we hope that some of our Republican colleagues will join us.
I understand where the president's coming from. America's the wealthiest country in all of human history. Our people like to buy stuff. The president's saying if you're a business in a foreign country and you want to sell to America, move your business here and hire Americans. And in the long run, he's right. But as I've said repeatedly, in the long run, we're all dead. Short run matters too. Nobody knows what the impact of these tariffs is going to be on the economy. I've heard experts, economists say it'll be positive. I've heard other economists in Washington say it'll lead to the apocalypse.